What is the most unethical profession?
Politicians shouldn't be, but the system makes it really easy for people to forget they are public servants and not out for themselves.
Media outlets that take money from interest groups, or owned by specific people, and espouses their talking points instead of reporting the factual truth.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. Any profession where the source of your income is scamming the old and/or the gullible. Edit. Voice-to-text typo.
Payday loans. Want a loan with 600% interest?
My job just partnered with a company to advance your check if needed. The company has all of our info such as hourly rate and time clock punches. If you make $10 an hour and have 80 hours of punches, they will give you an $800 advance. No interest, but they don't take out taxes. Girl I work with had been taking an advance every 2 weeks because you make more money this way. I told her she's getting FED in April, but she doesn't believe me.
I worked in the payday loan industry for a minute. Legal money sharks who prey on folks with poor credit to borrow money at insane interest rates, 700+%. Here's how it works. You need to borrow $700 until your next payday. On your payday, 2 weeks from now, you will need to pay back $854, 700 plus interest. If you don't have $854 to part ways within 2 weeks, no problem. Simply pay the interest, $154, and roll over to the next payday. Still don't have $854 on your next payday? Cool, just pay the interest and roll it over another 2 weeks. You could roll it 3 times before we asked for the full amount. The place that I worked at would allow customers to take out a new loan after that 3rd roll to start the process all over. This place had customers who had been stuck in this cycle for years. I worked there in 2008 for about 5 months. Xmas came and the big boss asked why our default numbers, people past due on their payments, were so high. I said, if I were in our customers' shoes, I would be buying presents for my kids and trying to feed my family instead of paying on this loan. He grunted and snarled at me. Then I gave my notice.
I have a half-sister who has 3 kids before 21. And later even more kids with a different dad, and treated the 3 original kids like literally red-headed stepchildren. Utterly like garbage. I saw her show up for not even 5 minutes to her kid's 10th birthday, grab some stuff to take with her, and left. She worked at a payday place and said she'd never let someone she knew go there. It was too scummy for someone who abandoned several of her children.
I recently went through a situation wherein my girlfriend, Jenny, had her car repossessed, and I came away fully believing that system to be one of preying on poor people. Jenny and I recently moved and she forgot to update car loan information, so the auto-pay failed and missed 2 monthly payments, about $600. Definitely her mistake, but an honest one. The money was there but the system was in motion. Repo guys showed up to take the car. Jenny realized the mistake and called the bank her car loan was with, Huntington. The bank said they couldn't accept payment because the account was frozen, so they had to let the guys take the car. Her car is taken, then the bank explains the process. The entire remaining balance is due within 30 days or the car will be auctioned, and any amount of the remaining loan not satisfied by the auction is Jenny's responsibility. That payment had to be made as a bank-to-bank transfer, which according to Bank of America, can only be completed by appointment with a bank manager. I expect this is because her loan account was put into a status that prevented payments from being made directly to the account via the website. Jenny's checking account is with BOA, so she went there and a teller said only a bank manager or specialist person, the people with the clear offices, could handle it. Jenny took out a small loan out of her 401k to cover the remaining loan balance because she didn't have that amount on hand, scheduled an appointment with BOA to transfer funds to Huntington. It took about a week and a half to get the money and pay off the loan. A fun point was that BOA's system was down, so they couldn't do it the day she first scheduled it and had to reschedule a few days later. Now, Jenny calls Huntington and they confirm the car is paid off and she can pick up her car. It only gets worse from here. We're in Middle Tennessee. The car was towed about 2 hours away to Kentucky the day after being collected. It was then driven an additional 2 hours further away but still in Kentucky, so Jenny would have to arrange a ride to get her car. Oh, and the place is only open MF and between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., so her and I had to take off a full day of work to go pick up her car. Once we get to where the car was, a company called Odessa, There was about a $100 fee to collect it. The gas tank was on empty. There was fast food trash in it that was not there when it was taken, likely left by the driver, and a handful of items were stolen from inside the car: CDs, phone charging mounts, sunglasses. I don't know that I've never been more furious in my life. That industry preys on those that are financially troubled by making it as hard as possible to pay the fees and get the car. Edits. I added some clarifying details that have come up in many comments. I also removed the mystic. Jenny is my girlfriend and we live together in Tennessee, USA. I was here when the repo guy showed up, in the room with her while she was on the phone with the bank, took her to Boa, and at the Odessa location to pick up the car.
One of my coworkers used to be a repo man. One time he was telling me about his tattoo. Often while hooking up the car to tow it, the person would come up to him and say, "Isn't there some way I can get you to not take it?" On his left palm in all caps was tattooed "Pay here." He'd drop the car for $100 and tell his boss he didn't find it. I opined that sounded kind of effed up. He said it was actually way cheaper for them to pay him and maybe have time to fix the situation than it would be to try and get the car repoed from the yard with the bank involved. He's not wrong, sadly. Edit. Oh, and I forgot the best part. It's tattooed on his left hand because his right hand would be holding a tire iron, in case the person thought violence might be easier. Real class act, Ol' William.
Televangelists. Easy. They're confidence men, and true pieces of poo. Looking at you, Joel, I'm a garbage effing person, Austin.
MLMs for sure. They prey on the poor and desperate.
Nearly joined an MLM this year without realizing. I feel bad for the young people who get sucked in, like a staff who interviewed me who I found out was actually younger than me by a few years. The stuff they say to get you on board is too good to be true, levels of absurdity. Join us to help sell water tanks and you'll earn $400 per sale. The more sales you make a month, you can earn up to $6,000 a month. 22M. Think what killed any hope of me joining was when they just devalued all my work experience prior by saying the skills I learned in my industry, retail, won't help in the long run, but this job will. Sorry assholes, but not sorry.
Maybe not the most, but rent-to-own companies are up there.
Depends on what it is. Rent-to-own musical instruments is usually great for kids starting out at elementary school. You pay a little more than the instrument is worth, but you can give it back to the store if the kid decides not to continue, or continue renting until it's owned. The place my parents got an instrument for me didn't charge interest at all. It was well worth it.
Prosperity preachers.
Greater than prosperity preachers. F all of them. They're just scammers under a different title. Kenneth Copeland defends use of 3 private planes in interview. It's a spiritual thing, link. And they're just pooty people in general. Creflo Dollar choked. Punch daughter. Police report, link.
We've been trying to reach you concerning your vehicle's extended warranty.
Mediums and psychics who capitalize on the pain and grief their clients feel from losing someone they love. I will help you communicate with your dead loved one for $200 an hour, the Gabby Petito, SP? Case was so fed up with all the TikTok psychos. Oh, I'm sorry. Psychics posting videos saying she was speaking to them from beyond the grave. Edited. Remove the word fake, because you guys in the comments are right. Also, there is not apostrophe in psychos. I am sorry for committing this mortal sin.
One of my old friends suffers from schizophrenia and she spent thousands of pounds speaking with a psychic. It's not even a real person. Just a text service that costs £1.50 per message, and it's always some bullpoo. She'll ask a question and always get some stock answer in reply like, asterisk what you wish will be yours, as soon as you address the elephant in the room asterisk. I begged her to stop texting the service, but she's suggestible and extremely vulnerable, and these people are more than happy to take advantage of her and take her money. I wish whoever is profiting from her vulnerability an excruciating death.
Literally, they will ask some generic vague questions and turn it into a Pavlov experience based on what you say. Ask. Your grandmother is speaking to me from beyond the beyond. But my grandmothers are still alive. Oh, I'm sorry, not a grandmother. An older woman who was very important to you in your life. And it goes on and on. Show me a childhood without some sort of trauma or a dead loved one. I could roll the eyes straight out of my head. The people who scam old people all day pretending to be from Microsoft.
If you want some sweet revenge, look up Jim Browning on YouTube. He intentionally clicks the scams and calls them and lets them access his computer. He then reverse accesses their computer so he can take full control of their computer unknowingly and gains access to their finances and everyone they've scammed, and sometimes even their computer cameras and security cameras. And then he reports them to the cyber police. Link to his channel, link.
I have. He's a legit ninja who apparently manages to hold down a day job and still do this.
Televangelist.
Beware of the false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Matthew chapter 7 verse 15.
Outbound sales call center worker, you are literally told to lie to make sales, especially to older people.
I once worked in a call center and it was for a catalog, so not actual cold calling but definitely trying to make sales out of nowhere. Anyway, I get a call one day and having a lovely chat with her for ages and putting stuff in her basket to send for her to try, and get son comes home mid-call and starts telling me how she has dementia and is getting these calls, making orders and forgetting them, then forgetting to send them back. All while getting distressed about it because she can't remember anything and they were in the process of legal action to try stop the calls and spending. After he hung up, I asked my boss what to do and she said to just send it through. I felt like the worst person after that and the whole job just broke me. I left not long after that. Call centers are actual cesspits.
I worked selling internet for BT here in the UK to people and was told during the pandemic to push selling tablets to old people by telling them that they can use it to see their grandkids again, which is disgusting.
I used to buy, trade and sell trading cards. It seemed unethical cause you'd always be trying to get an amazing deal from people and especially kids. If someone didn't know the price of the card, you'd still haggle with them to get it even lower. I remember one of my buddies getting 3 cards worth $150 each for about $30 cause the guy didn't know the price had spiked a couple hours ago.
A couple of hours ago? What caused such a sudden market flux?
People who own private prisons.
Payday loan worker.
Paparazzi, they follow famous people around and harass them until they snap and yell at them for profit.
Was in LA grabbing some pizza late at night and I think Demi Lovato or Selena Gomez was exiting some upscale restaurant right in front of it. Nearly got into a fight with some paparazzi because they thought I was trying to beat them to the photos. Complete scumbags.
Whoever decided medical costs.
Like Senator Joe Manchin's daughter who increased the price of EpiPens from $50 to $600.
Most of these are criminal or borderline criminal professions. Here's the most unethical legal job: medical insurance executive. Human traffickers, assassins, warlords, torturers and dictators.
Warlord and torturer are professions? Like, what's the career path to do those?
NFT sellers are huge scam artists and no one talks about it. Definition of hack frauds.
Hitman or child sex trafficker come to mind.
I'm a bartender. I frequently find myself questioning whether my profession is ethical. Leaning no.
Co-founder and chief executive officer of Facebook.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.